Hey, what's happening? Chad Allen here, and welcome to my live call on Facebook and YouTube. And today we're going to be discussing about the vaccine and its side effects, or one of the adverse reactions, and what's causing it. So, for those who don't know my story, my name is Chad Allen. I have a master's degree in nursing, and I help people, professionals, and their families have a transformational life so that they do not miss those very special moments with their family. I was married in 2015, late 2015, and in 2016, my wife became pregnant with our now 4-year-old daughter. And when she was just 30 weeks pregnant, we found out that she had breast cancer. And from that point forward, our life would change forever. So, unfortunately, by the time my daughter was 9 months old, she would end up dying of her breast cancer, which was the most devastating time of my life. And was really broken by it. But through all of that, I learned about how to help other people with their life, and to be a support system to them, especially if they lost a spouse because of cancer or other areas. So tonight we're going to be talking about the COVID-19 vaccine, the Pfizer, and also the Moderna, because both these have a certain substance in them that causes potentially severe adverse reactions in people, anaphylaxis. Um, some have, just other, like heat rash. I mean, all kinds of stuff that it can cause. So now, does that mean that you should not get the vaccine? Well, that's up to you as an individual, because reality is a lot of people have probably gotten the vaccine and have been okay with it. So, but there are those few who, and they're becoming more noticeable, that they are having some pretty severe adverse reactions. There was a hospital that had to pause in Chicago, who had to pause the giving of the vaccines because four of their healthcare workers had severe adverse reactions to the vaccine. And then I just read today where five more from added on to what was yesterday, and added on to what was before the hospital stopped the vaccine, giving the vaccine for a little while, where you had about five others. You also had severe adverse reactions, the anaphylaxis, and other bad things that happen. And so it's really interesting to see this take place, because you always hear about the efficacy and the safety of certain vaccines that we have. And for the most part, most vaccines, for the most part, are given safely, but there are always those few who will have a certain kind of reaction that takes place. And so this is certainly one of the vaccines. So, what is causing these severe reactions to this COVID-19 vaccine? Well, according to the Children's Health Defense, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he states that these vaccines that they're being administered have polyethyl glycol, which is one of the ingredients, by the way, that helps makes antifreeze. So you can imagine taking PEG, and so basically what happens is, because of this PEG that's in these vaccines, if your body has developed antibodies against it, when you get the vaccine injected into you, the immune system immediately begins to attack that PEG that's in the vaccine. And then in doing so, while it's attacking, it feels like it can't. We're having a hard time getting rid of it, so we have to have a bigger reaction. And then the next thing you know, your whole immune system is going haywire. You're going into anaphylactic shock. you're going into other kinds of shocks, whatever, what's causing your reaction. And so the PEG is a foreign substance that's in the body that the body is not liking at that particular moment. And this is what is in the vaccine itself. So what the Children's Health Defense League is suggesting that everyone do, because this is very, very important. If you don't get anything out of this today, this is the one thing that you really, really need to get out of, especially if your goal is to get the COVID-19 vaccine, is that you need to be screened for PEG, the polyethylene glycol antigen. You need to be screened for that so that you know that you are free and clear if you were to get the vaccine. Because if you have the antibodies of PEG in your body, then you do not want to get the COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna or Pfizer, because the PEG is what's going to cause you to have a pretty big reaction that takes place. Second, so we talked about the vaccine and how it's causing these adverse reactions in people. So far, we've seen 4 from one hospital that they had to shut down the hospital. We've seen another 5 just recently in the last day that the FDA is investigating as well. We've heard about the same thing happen in, I believe it's the UK, where they had to shut down the giving of the vaccine because of these adverse reactions. These are pretty serious adverse reactions that are taking place at this very moment. So what are some things that you could do? So if you don't want to get the vaccine, because this is pretty important, if you don't want to get the vaccines, what are other options that you can take that would really help you to fight against things like COVID-19, the flu, or anything like that? So I'm going to be sharing something with you that I believe it's going to help you tremendously. And I believe that when you hear about it, you're like, that makes a lot of sense. So I usually don't do this because this is something that I offer personally in my business, and it has helped me, and it has helped my family and others who are wanting to be immune to things like COVID-19 and other dangerous emerging diseases and viruses, all this other stuff that's coming out in the world. And this is something that I typically do not talk about because it is a product that I offer, but I want to share it with you because I believe it's going to be very, very important for you to understand. So if you don't want to get the vaccine, then this is one of my points that I want to share with you. So several years ago, in 2013, there was a study that was done about something called transfer factors. So if you don't know what transfer factors are basically an immune, it's like a, I didn't understand. Sorry about that. So transfer factors are proteins that are in the body that are already being made that transfers immunity from one source to another. And to put it more, I'll see if I can find this. Okay, to put it in perspective for you. Okay, so I'll just read what is in the in this 2013 study, and then I'll share with you the studies. You can find these on the National Institute of Health website. You can see this in the PubMed site. And so it's all there for you to say. So transfer factor. What is transfer factor? So in scientific terms, transfer factor is a low molecular weight lymphocyte extract capable of transferring antigen-specific cell-mediated immunity, CMI, to T lymphocytes. It has been used successfully as an adjuvant or primary therapy for viral, parasitic, fungal, and some bacterial infections, as well as immunodeficiencies, neoplasias, allergies, and autoimmune diseases. So this is what the TF does. From the list of infections that seems to respond noticeably to transfer factor, those due to viruses of the herpes family are particularly remarkable. Indeed, for these viruses, it was known that transfer factor. Now, get this. This is very, very, very important to understand. Okay, very, very important. Transfer factor can prevent infection. Can prevent infection or relapse, acting as a cell-mediated immunity vaccine. So this comes from a 2013 study that was done on this particular molecule that's in our body already. We all make it. We all make it. And what I have is that it's in pill form. And when I take it, I could tell you that from my family, we may have had the COVID before because we all had temperatures and stuff like that. But it was only with us for like a day. We had a fever and it was gone the next day. It was, so we learned, our body, it was able to fight off these things, and we were able to learn quite a bit from it. So see if I can get, so basically this is what I take right here. It's got the transfer factor in it right there. It's got the multi-mineral. It's got the fish oil and stuff like that. So I take this on a daily basis for myself, because I know that when I take that, I am well protected from all these things. So I don't worry, like for me personally, I don't worry about getting COVID-19 or other illnesses, because I know that I am well protected from it. And I know that when you take this, you will also be very, very well protected as well. So you can either make a choice of getting a vaccine that causes severe, that can cause severe adverse reactions if you don't get tested for the PEG. So if you get tested for the PEG and you find that you don't have the antigens within your body, well, then you're probably safe to have the vaccine, and you probably won't have any issue whatsoever. If you have these antigens, the PEG antigens, then you're going to have to find another way to get yourself protected. And one way to do that is through what I offer, the cell-mediated type of immunity that provides a vaccine effect, because this is what I take as well. So you have to make a choice of whether you're going to have the adverse reactions if you get screened and you find out that you have the PEG antigen within your body. So you find that out, then what I offer is a great option for you. But if you get the PEG, you don't have PEG in your body, you won't get the vaccine, get the vaccine. But I will still say what I offer is still a great option for you to have that cell-mediated immunity that you would not normally have as an individual. And I can tell you that from a lot of people that I have helped, especially one particular who was COVID-19, they had a 105 degree temperature, hovering around 105 degree temperature for 10 days, and it wouldn't go away. They were getting worse. They were told to stay home. They were told not to go to the hospital. They were told to keep doing what they're doing, taking their Advil, taking their vitamin C, taking their the zinc, and the other things that they gave them. And you know what? When they took the transfer factor that I had for them, the very next day, they began to have no more fever, and they felt so much better after that. So there's something to this, and it's because of this particular study in 2013 that, and also there was an article in 2020 that you can also check out on the National Institute of Health website. So so it continues. TF should be in the arsenal of weapons for the prevention and treatment of known and newly emerging pathogens, as well as their syndromes. Again, TF should thus surface from its present quasi-oblivion and contribute to the battle for health. Its main advantage are efficacy for treating and also for preventing infections, low manufacturing costs, and absence of toxicity, because there's no toxicity with this. So it has been suggested that the COVID-19 infection may primarily affect CMI versus, this example is CD4 plus and CD8 plus T lymphocytes, whose numbers may be in correlation with the disease severity. So then it continues. TF should contribute in reducing the viral load. So this is why people, when they take transfer factors, this is why they get better so quickly. They get better right away. When it's because the TF is using the immunity and it's transferring that immunity from one source to another, and it's teaching and it's educating and it's remembering. It's all this stuff. It's modulating the immune system, and it's dropping that viral load. So if you have like COVID-19, you can't get well, you're taking transfer factor, boom, you start getting better because of that. So it's a very big deal. And so we'll continue. So I'm trying to look for another. So talking about TF, by stimulating CMI and increasing the number of cytotoxic lymphocytes, TF should contribute in reducing the viral load, and by modulating the overreaction of the immune system that most steroids fail to restrain, and thus, in which is mainly responsible for the mortality. It should be able to control the disease. Thus, following its administration, an increased number of asymptomatic patients should be observed, along with decreased mortality. So this study and also this particular article in 2020 is suggesting that when you take transfer factors, it's going to help reduce the mortality rate as a whole. So you have to ask yourself, why is it then are we so wanting to have vaccines that has the potential for adverse reactions versus something that your body already generates, but you need more of it, and you can get it from pills, stuff like that, like what I offer people. Then why do they not want to have that to be part of the arsenal? Because this is something that every household in America and the world should have. And I really believe within my heart, within my big heart, that in the coming future, this is going to be something that every household will have in their house, especially with emerging diseases and viruses and everything else that's coming out of, especially when you're talking about these antibiotic resistant viruses or bacteria, or these antiviral resistant viruses that are coming out. Well, guess what? This will help that as well. So anyway, you want to know more about what I do? Message me in the comments below, and I will share with you what I have. If you want the studies, just message me, and I will send you those studies to you as well. So I have them in link form, and I can get them directly to you. So I want to thank you for your time, for being on the live call, and we will talk to you later. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.